Hey, John Hope Bryant. I've been saying this for a while. John Hope Bryant coming live, but this is the first day. This is historic. This is the first day I come live to you on my 55th birthday. That's right. Today is my 55th birthday, and I have a special birthday gift from me to you, my community. And I would just say it first and get it out of the way. I'm proud to say that I've made me and my organizations that I founded have made a $250,000 deposit yesterday into a black bank, Carver Federal Savings Bank, a well-run black bank in Harlem, with much more to come. For a guy that came from Compton, California, South Central LA, saw murders twice before I was 9 years old. Yep, before I was 10 for sure. Death of my family, marriage, and all of our assets because we divorced and we lost everything. And the murder of two of my people close to me before I was 9 years old. To be homeless for 6 months of my life before I was 20 years old when I was 18, literally lived in my Jeep at Lottie Heron Airport in Los Angeles. To be counted out, written off, dismissed, as I articulate very clearly in this book, From Nothing. If you haven't got it, you should get it. Again, birthday gift from you to others because I think it'll help those who want to come up and need a storyline and a business plan to do it. But I talk about the so-called embarrassing, they're not embarrassing to me, but so-called embarrassing moments where people written me off and roll their eyes at me and dismiss me. And what I learned long ago, because God don't like ugly and rainbows only follow storms. First, they will ignore you. Then they will criticize you. And then if you keep at it long enough and you are resilient and you never give up and you start showing success, you start showing this new model of your vision of the world actually works, the naysayers and the haters, well, they start to copy you. And if you keep at it long enough, then you win. But when you win, what did you win? Like, okay, I won some power, I won some wealth, I won some opportunity, won some access. Isn't power really in the God sense of love that we should all have about the ability to take that power, to repurpose it and to give it away to those who should have power too, of letting them come up, repairing the ladder? So really my power today is the ability to help, really. Power is the ability to give where you want. Money is really freedom. It's the ability to move and flow as you like. When money becomes a definer of you, then that just talks about your low self-esteem, because then money has defined you. All money is the transfer of value, right? Wealth is a mindset, and that's what I'm trying to communicate, pour into my community. So I'm proud that Operation Hope and the Promise Homes Company, a nonprofit and a for-profit that I founded, that are two of the largest of its kind in the country, the largest nonprofit financial inclusion organization in America, 26 states, 4 million clients plus $3.5 billion invested through our partners and Operation Hope in these neighborhoods, raising credit scores, making people viable, making people bankable, getting people into the game, making free enterprise work for all of God's children, the biggest in the country. And then the Promise Homes Company, the largest for-profit owner of single-family affordable housing rental homes in America by a person of color, $100 million plus in assets there. The company didn't even exist 3.5 years ago. Again, people roll their eyes. Okay, what is this John Bryant's doing now? Those two entities are the largest of their kind in this country, and I'm from nothing. I'm supposedly from nothing, but I'm from everything because I'm from him. Okay, can I get an amen? Right? So I'm proud today that on this day, a guy who didn't have a thing, no pedigree, no trust fund, no backup plan, written off. My grandfather, my great-grandfather was absolutely a slave in Mississippi. My grandfather might have been a slave because he was born in 1871, R.B. Smith, my father's father. And slavery, unfortunately, the message didn't get to everybody when it ended in 1865. So 1871, he might have been born into slavery in Mississippi. Certainly Jim Crow. But my great-grandfather was no doubt a slave. And to have this history of folks who came up from nothing and to be at a point now where I can give back to my own community and put $250,000 of cash on deposit at a black bank so they can reinvest. Carver Federal Savings Bank, a well-run bank run by Michael Pugh, another brother, a great guy, back into the black community. They can make small business loans and home loans and student loans, consumer loans, and teach our community the skills that they need. By the way, I'm sitting here with my Atlanta Hawks Martin Luther King special edition swag on. Thank you, Tony Ressler, one of my business partners at Operation Hope, at Promise Homes Company, and the owner of the Atlanta Hawks. And he's also a big partner of Operation Hope. We have a shared vision together. I love that guy. Michael Rigetti also helped me with the Promise Homes Company, just giving credit where credit is due, because none of us got here by ourselves. And as those who have assisted me, I must reach out and assist others, right? And we can't just wait. We have to be relentless. You know, I love my T-shirts. We can't just wait for other folks to save us. We've got to save us. And that's the message today of 55, Black on Black. I don't know, some people may not know what I meant by that. You know, is John somehow gone radical? I am radical, by the way, a radical movement of common sense. I think we've got to be passionate about common sense answers and solutions at scale. The Bible suggests be hot or be cold. If you're lukewarm, I'll spat you out. Translation, even God doesn't like mediocrity, right? So today it's Black on Black at 55 Live. What does that mean? Well, first of all, I was talking to Michael Pugh, the CEO, the Black CEO of Carver Federal Savings Bank, one of the largest Black banks in America, well run in Harlem, where my wife owns property on 122nd Street, by the way. I'll get to that in a minute, why ownership's important. But I was talking to him about, how, we can help them and how this corporation might be able to help. And how that philanthropist might have helped and his dreams and his desires for the institution. And I'm going, wait a minute now. Why is it just fantastic? We want the white philanthropists to help, and the white Jewish philanthropists, and the female entrepreneurs and the white female entrepreneurs who made it. And we want the billionaires, and we want the multimillionaires, and we want the Fortune 500 companies to all lean in, most of which are probably mainstream white. Well, I'm on the phone with them going, wait a minute, what can I do? Right? Why am I off the hook? I'm a reasonably successful Black man. I relate to what he's doing. What can I do? And I found it very easy just to transfer some of my money. It was a little bit of work, but, I just made it clear I want my money sitting at this Black bank. And I know they're going to make good use. So it's not charity. It's not handouts. And I want my money back. That's what a deposit is, right? But I don't have a question that it's safe. It's just as safe at Carver as it is at any other, I don't want to name names of big banks, but you know what I'm talking about. It's just as safe there as it is any place else. And so why can't I, and why can't Hello You, why must we just wait for others, even though there may be reasons for others to want to reinvest because of the untold pain that Black people went through for 250 years of slavery, 100 years almost of Jim Crow. We built this country for free and built wealth for others. I think there should be almost affirmative action on capitalism, not handouts, not gimme programs, but understanding the rules are not published and the playing field is not level for African Americans in particular, and other ethnic groups and women, including white women. But Black folks in particular have really been given the bad side of the road in this whole journey of America, and folks should lean over and do more. But what can I do? What should we do? So I'm gonna stop talking as we pivot here just about Black on Black crime, right? I want to talk Black on Black investing, okay? Black on Black, right? Deposits. Black on Black, Blacks helping Black becoming entrepreneurs. That's the 1 Million Black Business Initiative that we're doing at Operation Hope with Shopify. Blacks helping Blacks become homeowners. A friend of mine just helped another friend, not related to them, become a homeowner. It was philanthropy, but it was also a business relationship. Like, okay, but you got to pay this mortgage. If you don't, the house comes back to me, but I'm going to give you a shot at owning this home. So it's no handouts, it's a hand up, right? It's teaching folks to fish, not just giving them a fish and doing it at scale so we can ultimately own the lake. And by the way, my white friend shouldn't feel bad about what I'm saying. I'm not talking about taking anything from you. GDP has grown in this country every year since the country was built. Investment portfolios have grown in size. Real estate values have grown in size. None of it has retreated because you included Black people. In fact, just the opposite. The Citigroup report recently showed there's $16 trillion of damage done to the economy in the last 20 years alone. That's $1 trillion because of racism against Blacks. That's a levy and a tax against all of us, white people included. In fact, my rich friends need to take note Because my rich friends need my poor friends to do better, if only to stay rich. Can I get an amen? I'll say that again for those in the back of the room who can't hear me. My rich friends need my poor friends to do better, if only to stay rich. We're all connected. You can take no pleasure from the fact that there's a hole in my end of our boat. We're all in this together. Do I have a church going on here yet? Is this a church of what's happening now? Can I get an amen? Okay. So to me, this is just a radical movement of common sense that we're not talking about taking anything from my white brothers and sisters, right? Most every role in corporate America is male white. So how do you think that advancing a few blacks who are absolutely deserving are going to harm you? We're talking about expanding the table and adding a chair. Quote attributed to my friend Stephanie Rule. Expanding the table and adding a chair, adding a seat. That's it. Expanding the table, adding a seat. And when you do that, everybody wins. When you grow GDP, everybody wins. If we didn't have $20 trillion of a tax on America because we discriminated against black people in the last 20 years, by the way, not the last 200 years, I don't even want to try to calculate that. The last 20 years, Citigroup said $16 trillion. If we just knocked it off right now, there'd be $1 trillion of additional GDP, gross domestic product, income for America that would go into the economy. Everybody wins. All boats rise. When you become a homeowner, small business owner, entrepreneur, it's everybody in that chain benefits. And that's every race of people, all right? And most great organizations, Urban League, NAACP, by the way, founded by blacks and whites. Hello. Operation Hope, founded by blacks and whites. Go do the research. You'll be fascinated. The civil rights movement, blacks and whites. President Abraham Lincoln created the Freedmen's Bank, Caucasian, conservative, but he was aided by Frederick Douglass, then a freedman who owned, by the way, real estate in Baltimore, Maryland, and rented it out to working class blacks, very similar to what I'm trying to do now. We know him as an abolitionist. I know him as a businessman. He ran the Freedmen's Bank. It was a partnership. We all rise together. The only people who benefit from us fighting with each other is, I don't know, China, Russia, somebody who's trying to be us. Everybody wants to be an American but Americans. We got to stop fighting with each other over stupid stuff. Republicans against Democrats, blacks against whites, poor people against other poor people. I don't understand why poor whites and poor blacks are battling with each other. You know, it's like two hobos who got kicked off the same train. One hobo said, took this story from Jesse Jackson a decade ago, give him credit. One hobo said, man, I'm upset. I got kicked off this train. I think I'm going to buy this train, this whole train network. The other hobo said, yeah, I'm upset. I got kicked off too. I think I'm going to sell it to you. They're both so broke they can't pay attention. We got to stop having broke people talking to broke people about broke stuff, because that creates a broken community. And you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th. Can I get an amen? That's why I made the deposit in Carver Federal Bank, because it has to start somewhere. And it can't just be Oprah Winfrey and, Michael Jordan and the celebrity household names. We got to have entrepreneurs and business leaders and civic leaders and civil rights leaders and you leaders and neighborhood leaders and block leaders and community leaders and your home leader. You're the home leader who say, what can I do? Can I put $2,000 on deposit? Make sure it's a well-run bank, by the way, because you want your money back and you want them to do the right thing with it. Check the record. Carver is a well-run bank. There are others that are also well-run. It's Family Savings. Is it Family Savings or Broadway Savings? My friend Wayne Kidd Bradshaw runs that. I think it's Broadway Federal Savings. And on the West Coast, there's a lot of great choices, right? That you can invest in, or just open your account there, right? And you don't have any money, then volunteer, mentor somebody, role model somebody. If you have a small business, bring them in as an intern. But we need to have a conversation in our neighborhood that's not about blame. It's not about shame. It's not about making excuses for the inexcusable. And to stop talking about black on black crime is the only topical issue that is, our own virus around the nation. We need to, we talk about black police brutality, which we should. We also need to talk about, unfortunately, this crisis and turn this on its head, because that's really the lack of jobs, the lack of opportunity. That's hopelessness in our neighborhoods. And the most dangerous person in the world is a person with no hope. But I see nothing but potential, right, in these communities. I mean, what's a drug dealer if not an illegal, unethical entrepreneur with a bad role model and bad business plan? But he or she understands import, export, finance, marketing, wholesale, retail, customer service, security, territory, logistics. These are not dumb people. They're brilliant people with a bad business plan and bad role models, and we model what we see. All a gang member is a frustrated union organizer. All right. Keep in mind, my white community, that NASCAR came out of moonshine running in the Appalachian Mountains. So we're all so we can go from hopelessness to hope. We can go from shame and blame to hope and opportunity. We can go from storms to rainbows, and that's actually scientifically the only way you get there. That's America's story. So I want to talk today about a new conversation. I want us to be relentless. I want us to make Dr. King proud, and Ambassador Andrew Young, and Bishop T.D. Jakes, and all the heroes and sheroes who live today, who are giving their life so that we can have liberty and opportunity. And I want to see social justice through an economic lens and economic empowerment and low interest rates and good credit scores and opportunity for all, because I want you to become an entrepreneur, a small business owner, a wealth creator, so you can do what I do times 10. Times 10. Times 10. Times 100. Let's talk about black on black hope, black on black internships, black on black apprenticeships, black on black mentoring, right? Black on black investment, black on black entrepreneurship, black on black small business. And then let's join hands with the rest of the community of every race to come up as a unified force so we can continue to be the beacon of hope and a place of opportunity for all. And I'm now talking about the United States of America, which has got a lot of problems, but she's still the most incredible place on the planet for most people who want freedom. But she's an imperfect experiment. But she's not going to change by herself. We're going to have to change her because she's not a country. She's an idea, and we can make her to be anything we want. I remember, I'm going to close on this. Ambassador Andrew Young, my mentor, my role model, my personal hero, our global spokesman at Operation Hope, once told me when talking about our challenges in this country a few years ago, he said, John, this is not my country. This is my country. And we can make her anything we want. Don't get mad. Don't get angry. That just makes you old and irritable and unattractive, okay? Prematurely age you. My doctor went to the doctor last week because I had a pain in my rear end, literally, probably me. And he said, he checked me all out, had all kind of fears and concerns about, my birthday's next week. What does this mean? And he said, John, relax, right? It's a tight muscle. It's your hamstring muscle. It's pulling on your lower back. That's your pain in your butt. All right. So you're the pain in the butt. So he did printed out a thing from the computer, not a prescription, an exercise chart. It said, do this stretch and get out of my office. He says, you are physically about to be 55, but you're physiologically 40. Your body's in great shape because you take care of this instrument and you understand that love is work. You got to stretch. You got to watch what goes in your body. That's my wife, Shatra, is a wellness coach and has put me on this great diet because you are what you eat. And 75% of all disease lives on inflammation. That, inflammation comes from, Shatra taught me this, from putting bad things in your body and preservatives and all that kind of stuff, and processed food, really. And so I've learned to eat good food. I like and I enjoy, but also eat healthy. And I work out and I stretch every day because you don't use it, you lose it, right? And that's kept me in great shape. I did the splits right back here yesterday on a Zoom call. I used to dance on Soul Train, so the story, just to prove that I could do it still. And I felt like I was 20. So be timeless, be full of hope, and never give up and never give in. I mean, if you want inspiration, Black women, look at Susan Taylor. She's 75 years old, looks like she's 45. Looks like she's 35, actually. She looks fantastic. Google search her. It's amazing. There's inspiration all around you. And hopefully this has been part of it. My birthday is really about, I am reasonably comfortable in my own skin. I couldn't have told you a year ago I felt good about this year, this birthday, because I hadn't thought I had done the work and I didn't think I was in alignment with my mission. But I really think that I can feel good about the contribution I made thus far. And there's another 50 years to go, at least 40, of contributions and leaning in. And remember, the more you give, the more you get. I love you very much. I'm sure I said something here that bored you. Please blame it on my head, not my heart. I hope I didn't overtalk. And I hope that you got something out of this. And kudos to Carver. Love and light. Peace and light. I'm out. Happy birthday to me.